Hey, all you beautiful folks out there. So I decided to come out to the park on my lunch break, and man, what a glorious day. The trees are full of color, and there's all different shapes and sizes, and they all look so unique and original. And it's perfect timing for me to share with you a story that I heard earlier in the week. And I think there's a great, powerful message inside of it, and it's very applicable to our life. Okay, so go here with me. You've got this married couple, and they're so in love, and they've got their home, and there's all these things in their home that they love, and there's this plant, and this plant's got these big, dark, lush green leaves, kind of like an ivy, and it just spills over onto the floor. And the husband takes care of this plant. He waters it and makes sure the soil is fertile and it has the best opportunity to grow and to be strong and to be beautiful, which is what this plant was designed to do. But of course, they get busy. And the husband begins to notice that these dark green leaves are starting to become a light green color. And so he tries to use cause and effect and trial and error, and he figures out that when he doesn't water the plant appropriately, its dark green lush leaves begin to turn this light green yellow. And so he begins to water the plant, and sure enough, in a very short amount of time, what was a light green, light yellow leaf returns to its original design, and it's back to being bold and bright and dark green. So years down the road, they would get another plant, just like this plant. It was shaped the same way. The leaves were about the same size, and the ivy branches would come off of the pot and spill over onto the floor. And the husband notices that periodically, no matter what he does, he cannot get these leaves that are this light green, almost yellow color to go back to this dark green, lush color that he knows that it was designed to be. So he talks to the plant, he prays over the plant, he waters the plant, he goes to the nursery and he gets some new soil, some good expensive soil that he knows is going to give it the nutrients that he needs. And he goes home and he does everything he needs to do for this plant. He tells this plant, "I love you, plant." I'm sure it had a name, and he calls it by name. And no matter what he does, this plant will not grow back to this dark green color that he knows it's supposed to be. So he's like, "That's it. I'm going to call the expert." And he calls a professional gardener down, and the gardener gets there and he looks at the plant and he's like, "Man, I just can't figure out what is wrong with this plant." And the gardener says to him, "Sir, this plant is totally healthy." And he's like, "But I don't understand. It's supposed to be this dark green color like this plant over here." And he said, "Sir, listen. While these plants are very similar, there is a slight variation between the two, and while they look the same, and the vines look the same, and the leaves are about the same size and shape, this variation of plant is designed to be this light green, light yellow color." And it hits the man that he was attempting to make this plant look exactly like this plant when they were never designed to be exactly the same. Now I hear this story and I am reminded that while many of us came from similar backgrounds, maybe we had parents who parented us similarly, maybe we went to some of the same similar schools, we got a similar education, we had some of the same things happen in our past, we are totally unique, original, and genuine. And what we find in our life is that we attempt to get everyone around us to be exactly like us. Now, what would happen if this man continued to water and water and water and water, because that was the answer to the plant over here? If he continued to do those same exact techniques with the plant over here, he would eventually completely suck the life right out of it. We have totally, completely got the ability to accept each person that we come in contact with in the shape and design that they are, with who they are on the inside. And I'm telling you today that what works for Joe may not work for Susie. And what works for my son Logan doesn't at all work for my daughter Addison. And what works for this boss may not work for this boss. And the way I speak to this friend may not be the way that I speak to this friend to be effective. Today, my encouragement is to see the people in your life in their own unique, original, and genuine design, and to be willing to love them whether they got dark green leaves or light green leaves, and to accept them fully in the place that they are and not attempt to change them from this to this. I hope you're having an absolutely extravagant day, and I love you so very much. You are unique. You are genuine. You are original, and I accept you just as you are. Rock out the rest of y'all's day. Word.